this is a twofer. We have a question from One Last Boot, who asks, thinking of trying Bay State Blue, should I be terrified? And then Firewalker114 asks, is there a pen $100 and up that you would dare to put Bay State Blue in? What pens do you put it in? And I thought about this one, and while Brian and I certainly have experience with Bay State Blue, neither he nor I have said, this is going to be an ink that I use continuously in my rotation for a prolonged period of time. And I thought, do I know someone who has done that? And the answer was yes, I do. Our very own Brian K., the other Brian, who works in the customer care department. He has been on the our old Right Now show. He also likes to take apart pens and create obnoxiously obscene Franken pens.
It's the best.
Oh my gosh. Dude, he's put a vanishing point nib inside of a preppy body, and like who knows?
He's an agent of chaos. Yeah,
he's certainly not afraid of Bay State Blue. In fact, he is a big fan of it. So I thought he would be best suited to answer this question. So Brian and I are going to kick up our feet, relax a bit, and our friend Brian K is going to give you his take on whether or not you should be afraid of Bay State Blue.
Hi, everybody. Brian K here from the customer care team, and I would be happy to talk about Bay State Blue because I love it and I use it all the time. So, should you be terrified of using Bay State Blue? I guess that's a really personal question, but I would say no, because it's just an ink and it behaves like most other normal inks. Bay State Blue is so bright that electric blue is something you don't want to miss out on. So definitely don't skip it just because you've heard horror stories and tales of it, dyeing people's kitchens and dogs completely blue. I had my own run-in with it when we first started working from home. I knocked over this bottle onto my desk and I stained my hands, feet, desk, and my diploma Bay State Blue. So it's something to remember it by all the time. But the ink, for me, I don't really have any problems with it at all. I keep it in a TWSBI Eco, and this particular pen has been inked with Bay State Blue for over 2 years. Actually, I think we're going on 3 now. And I've cleaned it, don't tell everyone else, but I've cleaned it maybe 2 or 3 times. And this pen, every time I uncap it, it writes absolutely perfectly. And I can leave it uncapped for easily 10, 15 minutes, and you take it back to the page and it'll still write. So definitely an ink worth checking out. Not something you should be terrified of. And yeah, definitely give it a go. I would say it's a good idea to keep it in a less expensive pen because it will stain. That's pretty much the only thing that the ink can do that other inks won't do as badly is stain, especially a demonstrator. But with a Q-tip and some Goulet pen flush in there, it's perfectly fine. So the other question is there a pen 100 and up that you would dare put Bay State Blue in? Yes, a few. I've put it in a handful of pens that I probably shouldn't have put in. Shouldn't, in air quotes there, because you can do whatever you want with your pen. One of the pens that I like to put in is a Pilot Vanishing Point because the nib units are easy to take out, very easy to clean, and replaceable. These guys go in the sonic cleaner at work a lot of times because they are they're not hard to clean, they're just very small. So if you have a sonic cleaner, definitely give it a go. And for the Pilot especially, if you do have an issue with any ink or the nib period, you can get a new one. You can replace it. So it's definitely worth putting in some different pens, and I wouldn't shy away from it just because of its scary heritage. So yeah, another one that came to mind actually was the Bennu, because they're so sparkly and fresh and bright. It would benefit greatly from a electric blue ink. And the cool thing about the Bennu pens is the nib unit comes right out. So like a lot of other pens, it's super easy to clean. You can flush that thing in 30 seconds if it's Bay State Blue or Noodler's Black or anything else. So yeah, I would definitely venture to put it in pretty much all of my pens, but I have ink paralysis choice here. There's too many inks to choose from, so my bottle of Bay State Blue, even though it is almost empty, gets passed over at times. But yeah, don't be afraid of the Bay State. Put it in your pens. Enjoy it. Look at that beautiful blue color on the page and be happy that you're doing something that someone else might be afraid of. Yeah, enjoy. Bye.
Alrighty. Well,
I love BK.
Thank
Man,
you,
he's the best.
Brian. Yeah, no, he's fantastic.
I had no idea he got it as a diploma. Like, oh man,
I know
that's terrible.
Why is his diploma just like on his desk though?
My diploma, I don't even know where it is. Like Rachel and I, when we graduated, like it was like our diploma was like some weird size, and they had like frames for them, but it was like $180, and I was like, I just graduated. I was like, I don't have any money. I'm spending $180 on this. And here we are like 15 years later, and it's like, I don't really care now. It's just, who cares what my diploma is? So it's just like in an envelope somewhere in a closet. I don't even know where it is.
But I am really glad that Brian took this question, because he was most definitely better qualified. But I don't know, Brian, do you have any cents to add? 2 cents, 3 cents?
I do, yeah. I mean, obviously he's used this ink a ton, clearly. He's used this ink more than I have. So definitely respect where he's coming from on that. The one thing I will say about this is, he didn't touch on the fact that Bay State is, all the Bay State inks, all 3 of them, but Bay State Blue is by far the most popular. They are formulated differently than most other inks. You can obviously still use them in fountain pens and stuff, but they are not mixable with non-Bay State ink colors. So if you have a pen that has another ink in it, you haven't really cleaned it out or not cleaned it at all, and you put Bay State in it, then you could have some actual problems with it, because the 2 inks will not be compatible, and they might actually even like gel and foam and do some kind of crazy stuff. So
use a dedicated pen.
Yeah, it helps. I mean, just you have to thoroughly clean out the pen before and after you use a Bay State in it. So it's not that you have to, you all of a sudden this has to be a dedicated Bay State pen now, but you just need to clean it thoroughly before you put a non-Bay State ink back in there. And the other thing I'll say is, it sounds like he's had good experience using Pen Flush and a physical tool like a Q-tip or toothbrush or something, but I will say the most effective thing I've seen when cleaning it is using bleach instead of an ammonia-based solution. So if you dilute bleach, like 5 to 10% household bleach, and use that to clean up your Bay State, it actually cuts right through it. So even if you have a pen that is just like hopelessly stained with Bay State, if you clean it with diluted bleach, then it's better. The only thing is with diluted bleach can interact with stainless steel if left for a long period of time. It's fine if you're just rinsing it and then you rinse it with water or whatever just to clean the ink out, but you don't want to soak a pen with metal components in a bleach solution. So I think there's enough that's kind of different about this ink where people are like, what is this? It kind of freaks me out. It's not that scary, but there's just a couple of things that help to know about it. But I'm right there with him. Dedicating a pen to it just makes things so much simpler. And it's a really cool and unique ink, so it kind of makes sense to dedicate, a less expensive pen to it. So I'm a big fan of it. I also wouldn't maybe use it in vintage pens, particularly valuable or harder place ones, or ones that have an ink sac or something like that, because various older glues and rubbers and stuff like that can be more susceptible to some of these ink interactions and stuff like that. So that's where maybe I would just encourage not to go down that route, but ultimately you can use it in whatever you want. Just you got to know the risks.
Yeah, one thing I did once upon a time, I had a TWSBI All Sport. No, not the clear sport, whatever, the ice sport is what they called them. Yeah. So it had a clear barrel and a blue translucent cap.
Wait, you said TWSBI, you mean Kaweco, right?
Kaweco, oh my God, yeah. Sorry. Blah.
You're like, TWSBI anyway, was a clear one. I'm like, you mean any of those?
Actually, I still have it, but it's seen better days. I lost the grip to it, so it's got a green grip on it now. It's got a little bit of a blue mark on there, but I had it inked up with Bay State for about a year. But what I had done was I had taken the inside of the barrel and completely coated it in the silicone grease that we sell. Just totally coated it so
Just
that
to-
the base
to give
state
it like a
did
physical
not.
barrier. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a physical barrier. The base state didn't actually penetrate the ink, so it stayed clear and did not stain. It stained a little bit, which I think is just my fault for not coating it properly. But it's a moisture barrier, so it
Neat.
kept it out. So if you wanted to try that, you kind of can. I actually liked the look of it because some inks they coat the inside of the barrel, and then some inks just kind of fall right off the barrel, and you
Yeah.
can still. So this is also good for that if you wanted your ink to just slosh freely. But I don't know. It was also a pain in the butt to remove. So you can do it. I don't know if I'd recommend it. It was kind of annoying, but it's a thing. It works ish.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There you go.